Welcome back to our 5.9 Cummins build. A lot has happened since the last time we checked in with you. My lazy cameraman is finally back and ready to film me actually do some stuff. So this video is just going to be kind of a progress update on the build. So if you notice here, it's been painted. That's Case Power Tan. I kind of like the color, and it kind of goes with what I work on every day, so that's why I went with that. We've got the injection pump mounted onto the engine. Had to do a little bit of trickery with the oil lines. I've also, on the injection pump inside the AFC housing here, I've replaced the control spring with a performance spring, which is a little bit longer, lighter spring, which will allow to stop the spring from coiling up when it goes into full rack. I've also replaced the MAC rack plug on the front of the pump to go from the standard 18 millimeters of rack travel to the full 21 millimeters of rack travel, which will really increase fueling and performance. I've set my injection pump timing to 22 degrees. Reason why I went so high is because the pop pressures on my new injectors that I'm running are a little bit higher than standard P-pump pop pressures, and so I'll likely need the extra advance in order to crack those pressures. So I'll have to probably play around with timing a little bit to get it dialed in once I get the engine running. I got my injection lines mounted on the engine. They were a little bit of a pain in the butt, as they're kind of needed a little bit of tweaking when I was installing them, and being stainless, they're not easy to bend, but I got them installed. I also have routed all of my return fuel lines from the injection pump and back to the head here, and have it clamped and ready to be installed into the truck. 5/16 fuel line. Some other little stuff I've done to the engine. I've installed a new thermostat, new water pump. This won't be staying on the engine. I'll be going with a breather setup here. The turbocharger is now on the truck. This is the old turbocharger and manifold setup. This is not the permanent setup for this truck. We will get into that in a little bit, but for now, I just want to get the truck running and the engine, start the engine break-in process. So I'm just going to run this turbocharger until I know everything's good, and I can, and then I'll make the swap over. I still have to hook up the oil return line, new block heater, and I've installed my twin disc clutch here for the 6-speed transmission, so it's ready to go. The engine is really close to being ready to be dropped in. It'll be going in shortly. I also have a different valve cover that I'll be running. I just use this one for paint, just to keep from paint getting into the engine. I've also had to do some modifications in order to make my air intake system work. So what I've done is I have to stack two grid heater boxes on top of each other, plus this, in order to get the clearance. I still have to clean this one up, and then this one here, I've gone ahead and removed the grid heater element, and then I also had to grind this down in order to clear the injection line. And I've also tapped all 4 of these ports to 1/8 pipe thread and installed pipe plugs with pipe dope on them to seal that up, so that way I'm not having 2 grid heater elements and blocking my airflow. And the grid heater by itself doesn't fit properly, and it doesn't give me enough height to clear my injector line, so this is kind of the easiest solution I came up with. I still have a little bit of messing around with it and getting hardware and stuff to actually bolt it all together. I'll be working on that here this evening. Other than that, just very minor things now left to do to get this engine into the truck and start our break-in process. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Everything's going really well. I think it's going to run pretty good. So like, comment, and subscribe to our channel at Lemonade Customs for our Project 59 build.